It's 9:41 a.m. The trade is green. Then it isn't. Price ticks against you. One candle, then another. Your stop loss is right there, $11 away, sitting exactly where you placed it last night, calm and rested and certain. This is the part nobody talks about, not the strategy, not the setup, not the indicator or the session or the news release you should have checked. It's these 8 seconds. The ones between the moment you know you're wrong and the moment you finally admit it. Your thumb hovers over the stop. A voice says, "It'll come back, it always comes back." Until the one time it doesn't. Second 4, you move the stop. Second 6, you tell yourself this is different. Second 8, you've already lost the trade. You just haven't accepted it yet. You close the platform. You make coffee you don't drink. And somewhere underneath the noise, a small, honest part of you already knows how this ends. Here's what almost nobody admits about losing an account. It rarely happens in one trade. It happens in the same 8 seconds, over and over, spread across months, until the math finally catches up. Week 1, it's small. A stop moved $20. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing. The setup was too good to cut early. The level was too obvious to be wrong. You're not lying exactly. You believe it while you're saying it. Week 3, it happens again. Different pair, different setup, same 8 seconds. This time the number's bigger. You justify it the same way. The level's still valid, I just need more room. Trading rooms are full of 100 versions of this sentence. By week 6, it isn't even a decision anymore. It's a reflex. The moment price turns against you, your hand is already moving toward the stop loss before your mind has caught up to why. You've built a habit out of exactly the behavior that guarantees you lose, and you built it 8 seconds at a time, so slowly you never noticed the pattern had a name. This is the part that should scare you more than any single loss ever could. It's not that you're bad at trading, it's that you've unknowingly trained yourself to fail in the exact same window every single time and called it bad luck. So why 8 seconds? Why not 8 minutes or 8 hours where you'd have time to think it through properly? Because 8 seconds is exactly long enough for your nervous system to hijack the decision before your judgment gets a vote. The instant price moves against an open position, your brain doesn't process it as market noise. It processes it as threat. The same ancient circuitry that once decided whether to run from something in the dark now decides whether to honor a stop loss. It floods you with cortisol. It narrows your attention down to a single number on a screen, and it offers you exactly one instinct. Don't lose this. Not yet. Not like this. Rational thought is slow. It has to travel through the parts of your brain that plan, that weigh probabilities, that remember the back test you ran 100 times. Fear is fast. It doesn't wait for any of that. In the 8 seconds after a trade turns against you, fear wins the race almost every time. Not because you're weak, but because that's exactly what the system is built to do. The traders who blow accounts aren't the ones with worse strategies. Statistically, a huge number of them have edges that work. On paper, in the backtest, in the calm light of Sunday afternoon prep. What breaks them is that nobody ever taught them to survive the 8 seconds. Nobody explained that the real skill in trading has almost nothing to do with finding trades, and almost everything to do with what you do with your hands in the 10 seconds after one goes wrong. There's a specific trade that tends to be the one people remember. Not the biggest loss, usually not even close. Just the one where the pattern finally became too obvious to keep ignoring. Maybe it's the trade where you moved the same stop loss 3 times in 11 minutes, watching the loss grow with every move, unable to stop your own hand. Maybe it's the one where you finally did cut it early, cleanly, at exactly the number you'd planned, and then watched the trade reverse and go to your original target anyway, and felt something crack, because for the first time, you weren't sure discipline had even been the right call. Both of those moments teach the same lesson, even though they look like opposites. The lesson isn't always cut losses or never trust your stop. The lesson is that you cannot evaluate a decision by what happened after it. You can only evaluate it by whether it was the right decision with the information you had in that specific 8-second window. Traders who wait for the outcome to tell them if they were right will always be one step behind their own nervous system. This is usually the point where something shifts. Not dramatically, nobody has a lightning bolt moment and becomes a different trader overnight. It's quieter than that. It's the decision made somewhere in the exhausted, honest hours after a bad week to stop treating the 8 seconds as something that happens to you and start treating it as something you can actually train. Here's what that training actually looks like, because it isn't willpower and it isn't a mantra you repeat until you believe it. It's deciding the outcome of the trade before you're in it, not during. Every stop loss, every invalidation point gets written down or set as a hard order before the position is even open, while your nervous system is calm and has no stake in the outcome yet. The 8 seconds only have power over you if you're making the decision live, in real time, with cortisol already in your bloodstream. Make the decision earlier, when it's cheap and there's nothing left to negotiate with once the trade turns. It's separating the trade from your identity. A stop-loss hitting isn't a referendum on whether you're a good trader. It's a bet that didn't hit, priced in advance, exactly as expected roughly half the time. The traders who survive the 8 seconds aren't the ones who feel nothing when a trade goes wrong. They're the ones who stop treating a single loss as information about who they are. And it's building the smallest possible rule and actually keeping it. Not a 40-page trading plan nobody follows past day 3. One rule: when this stop is hit, I close the position. Full stop, no negotiation. You keep that one rule for 30 trades before you add a second one. This is slow. It's supposed to be slow. The traders who try to fix everything about their psychology in 1 week are the same ones back here in a month, in the same 8 seconds, wondering why nothing changed. None of this makes the 8 seconds disappear. They don't disappear for anyone. Not for professional traders managing size that would make your account look like a rounding error. Not for the calmest person you've ever watched trade live. The nervous system doesn't get an exemption because you've been doing this for 5 years. What changes is what you've trained into that window. The 95% spend those 8 seconds negotiating with fear, trying to find a version of reality where they don't have to accept the loss yet. The 5% spend the same 8 seconds doing almost nothing at all, because the decision was already made, calmly, hours or days earlier, by a version of themselves who wasn't afraid. That's the actual gap between the two groups, not intelligence, not access to better information, not even risk tolerance most of the time. Just what they've built into the 8 seconds between this is going wrong and I've accepted it. You don't win that gap by being braver. You win it by making sure every time that the calm version of you already made the call before the scared version of you ever got the chance to. That's the whole difference. 8 seconds, repeated a few thousand times, quietly deciding which kind of trader you become.